Today I'm going to be showing you the full process on how to download a free file that you can make this weekly planner. It's called On The Go Weekly Planner. It's a free file on my Ko-Fi site or Ko-fi site, I'm not sure the proper name. In my shop, it's the only file in there right now. There will be more. So I'll put the link below to the free printable. You'll get all the pages and the cover. You can print them out and you can assemble your own planner. It's a weekly planner, holds 6 months. Just weekly planner, that's all that's in here. Comes very handy, easy to carry around. Put it in your purse, your backpack. And very simple to make. Okay, so stay tuned. I'll be taking you to my computer. I'm going to show you how to print the pages, how to set it up to print. Okay, I brought you over to my computer screen. I wanted to show you, this is the zip files. We've unzipped it. The 3 files I've opened in the Adobe Acrobat Reader, the PDF reader. And you can see up at the top, there's my mouse. I have all 3 files that we need open. Now the first one is the cover. It says Cover A PDF. It's called Cover A because usually I make a double-sided cover. So I would have an A and a B. But this one, we only need an A. We're going to leave it white on the back. Now this is what we want to print. But I want to show you one very important thing you have to set in order to get your printer to print this centered on the page, which it has to be or it won't work. Now you see I have it centered on the page, so from here to here, there's that amount of room, and from here to here, there's that much room. Now this way, when we fold it in half, they will be even. And we just have to make one cut. Well, no, on the cover you have to cut separately. But you'll see on the pages how this works. So the setting I'm talking about, when you go to print, you see this little printer up here on the top? It says print this file. If I click on that, this is going to take me to the printer setup. Now this is set up for my printer. I have an HP SmartTank. It's a 7001. So the first thing I want to do, this is where you're going to find the very important part, is go to Property, no, go to Advanced. Now I want you, nothing on here, we're not going to change any of this. But you see right down here, this little check mark on Print as Image. You want that to be checked. Otherwise it's going to try printing it as a document and it will not center it on the page. So make sure this box is checked. Now once you check it, the software will save that setting, so it'll always open with this checked. So now I'm going to hit OK. Now my printer, like I said, is an HP SmartTank. I'll leave a link below. It's a great printer. You don't buy cartridges, you refill the tanks with an ink bottle. Very, very reasonable price on the ink and the printer. So I'll leave a link below to my Amazon affiliate link. If you're interested in purchasing it, you'd be amazed at the price. Okay, so now I want to check, go to Properties. Now, for every printer, they have different setups here. This is for my printer. This is my default setting. I have borderless on. My paper type, I always leave it on other matte inkjet papers. And my print quality, right here, I have set at best. I'm just going to leave all that alone. Now you may not have a borderless printer, so you wouldn't have this setting, but it will still work. You may have a little bit of a white border around the edge that you cut off, but it will print the same. Okay, so that's my settings. Now back on this page, right next for the cover, you're going to make 1 copy on cardstock, not on copy paper. one copy. We'll leave this alone. Down here where it says page sizing and handling, make sure actual size is checked. The little dot there, you see it? And then down here, you see how it looks here? We don't want that. We want it, they have it on portrait. We want it on landscape. And that's how it's going to print on your paper. You see how I was saying it's centered on the paper? If you didn't change that setting, print as image, it would start printing on this end, and it wouldn't work when you get to the pages that you need. They wouldn't print correctly. Because that's all we need. For this cover, one copy on cardstock. Leave that alone. Set this to actual size, and put this on landscape. And that's all we're going to change. Now, then you would hit print, and it would go to your printer and print. Now that's the cover. It's the only one that gets printed on cardstock. Next, I have all 3 pages open in Acrobat Reader. The next one is the cover page for the actual pages. And you see here again, like the other one, this spiral should be in the center. You really can't see the line on this end, but it ends right here, so it's centered on the page. We don't have to change our settings again, they're all set. So this one you're going to print only one of this on copy paper. Okay, and after that's all printed out, on the back of this one, we'll go to the next tab. You're going to print one of these on the back of that cover page. Now, if you stay with me, I'm going to show you how, back on my desk, how it comes out of your printer, and then how you put it back in to print the other side. So this would be your one weekly page, and you would print 13 of these. Now I do it in groups of 5 because I don't want to get totally messed up if my printer paper doesn't come out right. I don't want to waste 13 sheets of paper. So I usually set it under my printer settings for this page only. I set this to 5. Leave these all the same, actual size and landscape. You can see it here in the little box. It's centered on the page. And I would print 5 of these on copy paper. And then I'm going to show you back at my desk, if you stay tuned, how to put it back in your printer to print one on the other side. The same file would go on the other side of all 5 pages. Okay, so you do that, you print 5, turn them over, print the other 5 on the back side, and then you're going to print another group of 5 and the back side, and then you're going to print a group of 3. You need 13 sheets, double-sided, with this file printed on it. There was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, to get the free printable, you go to I have a link below to my Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi shop. Right now there's only one file in there. So I'll leave the link directly to the file. It's free. You don't pay for it. You'll get all 3 of these. And then you can print them all out. And I'm going to take you back to my desk, where I'll show you how we put the pages in the printer to print them. I also want to show you, when you download your file, you're going to get what looks like, you see down here? We're going to move this up a little. Right here, this is the zip file. This is what you're going to receive. You're going to have to open that and extract it. Open it all up. Now on my laptop, I have a Windows laptop. It's Windows 10. I right click on this file right here. See the blue one highlighted? Right click. Whoop. There it goes. And here, right here, you see extract all. If you click on extract all on that zip file, this will tell you where it's going to put it. Now, wherever your original folder is, that's where it's going to put this new folder with the files opened. You cannot print from the zip file. So then you hit extract. It will open it and create this new folder for you, On the Go Weekly. And in that folder are your 3 PDF files. This is what I opened in my Adobe Acrobat Reader. I opened all 3, and that's what you see on my program. All 3 of them are up here. Here are the tabs at the top. So that's how you print them. I'm going to show you exactly how. In the next section, we're going to simulate my printer. Not all printers are the same. My printer has a front bottom loading tray with the paper and had the little shelf above it where the paper comes out. It's also on the front. So at the top is the little shelf where the paper comes out of the printer, and below that is the tray that you put your paper in. Now everything is printed on copy paper except this cover. This is printed on cardstock. If you print it on copy paper, it's going to get a little beat up and wrinkled in your purse or your backpack. Wouldn't be very sturdy. So we printed on cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to take you back over to my desk. I'm going to show you how to insert them back into the printer so you can do your double-sided pages. These are all double-sided. They'll be double-sided. And this will have this on the front and this on the back. Okay, be right back. Thank you. Okay, here we are. We're back at my desk. I want to show you how to insert your pages so that you can print them. This is a completed book. So you can print them double-sided and have them work properly. As long as you have that little setting changed that was print as image, it should work for you. Okay, now this was the cover. This is just a cover I printed on copy paper. This I'm saving in my project book because I need all my instructions. So this is the one that you printed on cardstock. Should look like this. Nothing on the back. You just print the front. So that when you fold it and you want to cut it, you cut around here. This one, like I said, for some people you don't have borderless printing. I didn't have my borderless set. So you may have this little white edge. You cut that off. And then you cut up this side and around this little tab if you want to keep it. Now I put a tab on mine because I want to put it in my traveler's notebook type planner. And I want the tab. But if you're just going to use it separately, as a separate book, you can just cut that off. You won't need it. So you'll cut that out and they'll be even, like this. The edges will be even. This one doesn't have the spiral on the edge, so you don't have to worry about that being straight. And that'll be your cover. It'll be printed on cardstock now, remember. Now this is the cover page. You see it's printed centered. Let me show you. There we go. Move my mat over a little bit. So the spiral is in the center of the page. As long as you have that setting, it's checked. Now this one also has, see on here, that little border on the top? You'll trim that off. As I showed you in the next video, I use my guillotine cutter, sorry. I keep calling it a printer. It's a guillotine cutter. It's made by Swingline. I'll put a link below. to an Amazon link. You're interested in buying it. It works great. I've had it for many years. The blade is still very sharp and it's very lightweight. So I just, when you get your weekly planner page printed, you're going to print this on the back. Now to put this back in your printer, like I said, mine is a front-loading printer. So it comes out of the printer like this, with the top of the page on the left. Now this is the way it comes out. You're just going to take it off the little tray, the little shelf, and put it back in your paper holder, this way. Same way it comes out. And you're going to print this file on the back, so that when you fold it, it'll be centered. Your spirals will be even. They'll be right in the center of the page. And then when we trim it, as you'll see later, we just trim evenly. So that's your cover page. Excuse me. Now these are your weekly pages. Like I said, we need 13 of these sheets, double-sided. Same thing, when it comes out of the printer, it will come out like this. On a front-loading printer, I don't know about a rear-loading. The top of the page will be on the left. So you take it off that little shelf, put it back into your paper tray on the bottom. Make sure the paper's all the way to the back of the tray. And you'll print the other side, which will print like this, on this side. So they'll both be centered. Your spirals will be in the middle. You'll print 5 of these to start. Now these, I'm going to show you in the next section how I cut them. I fold them all. I put them all together in a group of 5. And then I trim them all on my guillotine printer, cutter. Sorry. I don't know, it's a bad habit. If you don't have a cutter, you could use your ruler on a mat like this. Line it up on one of the lines at the top. Even on your mat with one of the inch lines, and then you'll just cut it off using a craft knife. That'll work also. Same thing on the bottom. You'll line it up, make sure everything's even, cut on the line using your craft knife. But the guillotine cutter really makes things very easy. So you'd have one group of 5, then you'll do another group of 5, same way, and then you'll do a group of 3. We need 13 double-sided sheets to make the entire 6-month weekly planner. Okay, so I'm going to take you to, I'm going to stay right here. We're going to assemble the whole book. I'm going to show you how to bind it. You can either bind it with elastic, or you could use the, I had the wrong name on it, 3-hole, I forgot it again. It's a 3-hole stitch, pamphlet stitch, that's what it's called, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, where you can sew the signature into your cover. So if you know how to do that and you want to sew it in, you can sew it in, or you could use a stapler and just put 2 or 3 staples along the center. And that'll be your binding. So stay tuned. I'm going to be working on that, and you'll see how I put it together, the whole thing. So you'll have this whole process video, how to print, how to double side print, and how to assemble it. Okay, I'm gonna be showing you how I'm assembling this weekly planner. It's very simple process for the whole thing. We have all our pages printed. Now I have already trimmed out quite a bit of what I need. This is the cover. blank on the inside. I left it white. Make it simple. Here's the cover on the outside. I left these lines. Take off my little note. On here you can write on the outside as you work through the year any important events or whatever that you might want to be. You'll be looking up later on, like next year. You want to look back at, when such and such party was or whatever. So we have these lines for any information. You can put the year on here. The height of this is 8 inches. And it's 9 and... I wrote it somewhere. Cover here. 9 1/4 inches high. And, I'm sorry, 9 1/4 inches wide. Because it's going to be folded in half. So it's going to cut at 9 1/4. And the height is 8 inches. I've left this little tab here. If you're not going to be using this, say, in a traveler's notebook with other notebooks, you may not want the tab. You can just cut that off. I just trim mine with my paper trimmer around these edges, and then this side I cut with a scissor. So that's the cover. And we have, this is the cover page of the actual booklet. Yes. Okay. Let me get this straight now before I read it to you. The pages are, when they're folded, which is how we're going to trim them, they're going to be 4 1/4 inches wide by 7 3/4 inches high. So that's how we're going to trim them. That's how I trimmed this one out. I've already trimmed out, as I told you, you need 2 sections of 5 sheets. This is 5 sheets folded, and that's going to give you 10 weeks. Now we want this for a 6-month period. We could make it a year, but it would get a little bit bulky. So when your 6 months are almost up, you just reprint another whole booklet, replace it. I'll show you how in a minute. But anyway, these sections, each one is 5 sheets folded, which means I have my guillotine cutter here, which can cut through 10 sheets very easily, which is what it would be cutting actually, because it's folded. 5 sheets and 5 sheets. Cuts through it like butter. I'm going to show you how it cuts. So I have these two. These are each 5 sheets. So we have 10 weeks, 20 weeks. Now we want 27 weeks total. That'll be a half a year. So this little section is going to be 3 sheets, sorry, double-sided, as I showed you how to print out. Fold it in half, giving a really good crease, all the sections. I did them with my bone folder, so they were really flat. And then I'm going to cut this one. And we're cutting at 4 1/4, so here's my measurement up here. I'm on the 4 1/4. And cut right on the line. That gives us 4 1/4. Now this is 7 3/4. Right up on top here on the ruler. Make sure it's even with the top. You'll be cutting right on that line. Now your printer may not print exactly like mine. So your pages might be maybe, an 1/8 of an inch difference in size. So just keep an eye on that. Always just cut on the lines. That'll keep it straight. So here we have 10, 20. Now this one is 3 sheets double, so that's 6. That's 26. And then we have our extra week on the back of the weekly, the cover page. So that's 27 weeks total. Okay, so we have them all cut. Now what we're going to do, open one of your sections to the center. Put the other section inside of it. And that one's open to the center. And we'll put this section inside of it. Now we have all 26 weeks are in this booklet here. And they're not all going to be perfectly even because, as you know, The more pages you put in, the further out they come in the middle. But that's all right, because we have room in our cover. And now we just take our cover page, put that on the outside. And that's all we need to do. It's going to go inside our cover. I'm going to show you how we're going to attach it. So you see, we didn't quite go up to the edge of the cover. I like leaving a little bit of room so that your pages don't get all smashed up. And there's a tiny little bit at the top and the bottom, which is perfect. And it's a nice size. Fits in your purse, your backpack, your work bag, whatever you're taking it with you in. And take it along with you. Now each one has, here's a week. What you would do is you would write the month. I usually put it up along the top here. Say November. I put the year on this side so that when I'm looking at it, I know what year I'm at. And then I put the date next to the word, Monday. Today is the 24th. So I'd have November up here. This would be the 24th, the 25th, the 26th, and so on. So you know the dates. Now we have 4 boxes for each day. But the way I figured this, I figured one group could be for family items, one row, say birthdays or anniversaries or special get-togethers. Then you have another section you could use for work, projects that are due, things of that nature. The third section you could use, say, you have kids have sports, they have games and practices and dance class and whatever. You could write all that in here. And then you have one little section left on the bottom. And that one I usually use, I like to keep track of, what bills are due this week, so I make sure I pay them. Anything else down here that doesn't fit in these categories. So I have everything on one page when I'm looking at it. It's all there. Okay, it comes in very handy. Now once we have all your pages cut, well folded, all in order, inside the cover, and we're going to, now if you're good at making books and you know how to do a, what is it called, a 3-stitch blanket stitch, I think, where you sew in your signatures. You could do that on here, that would work fine. But I'm just going to use elastic on mine. This way, when I reprint the second half of my year, I would just slide this whole section out and put the new section in, and I'm ready to go. So that's all we're going to do right now. I'm going to cut the elastic. I'm using this, I think it's 2mm corded elastic. I'm just going to measure like a little bit larger than twice the size of the book, so we can go around the outside. So I have this one, and I'm going to go back down the other way, leaving some room because I have to tie a knot in here and not stretching it out. So it's going to be about that big. I can't measure it for you. Well, let me cut this and then I'll measure. Give you an idea. It's approximately, I'll use the ruler on here. This is 12 inches, I believe. Maybe at the middle. Okay. I'd say that's 12. And another 10, maybe 22 inches. You could probably get away with a little bit less, but I need a lot of room to tie a knot. I just wanted to mention this. This is a Swingline guillotine printer. Cuts very well. I've had this for many years. I've cut plenty of notebook pages and planner pages with it. And it's very light. You can pick it up with one hand. It's plastic, but it's very sharp, so you have to be careful with the blade. It has a little lock on it on the side, so that once you close it, it'll stay locked. Mine's old, like I said, but the latch doesn't hold too well anymore. But very good cutter. I'll put a link below. They have it on Amazon. I looked it up this morning. They still have it. I've had it for like 10 years. The blade is still very sharp. I don't cut anything on here but paper and some cardstock. But I don't cut chipboard on here or anything like that that would ruin the blade. So I'll put a link below, an Amazon link. Won't cost you anything extra to order through the link, or you can just go on Amazon and order it. But I appreciate if you buy it through my link. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. And we're going to put on our elastic. Okay, everything's folded well, creased well, inside the center of our book. Actually, I don't need to wrap this around till after I've tied the knot. Let's see. That's where it's going to start. So my knot should be right about maybe an inch. No, not quite an inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. You don't want it too tight. It'll curl up the book as you put the elastic on. So I'm going to have to make sure my knot comes right about here. Now, I'm not very good at tying a knot on camera, as we all know. But let's see what happens. If I can make a knot that will hold. And I've done it. Make sure you pull it really tight. You don't want it coming apart. That might be a little too small. Let me see. It's gonna wrap around the book, threading it through anything. You want the knot on the inside, unless you want it on the outside. Mine is a little bit loose, so I'm gonna have to retie my knot. But that's what it will look like. Now you could, I'm not gonna do mine now. I'll let you know if I do it later. You could make a little bit notch, very tiny notch, at the top and the bottom of your spine here. And that way the string, the elastic will stay right in that notch and it won't move. Which is what I'll probably do. But a very tiny one, maybe 1/8 of an inch in. And that's it, just to hold it there. But otherwise, this is your closure, not your closure. This is how your book is assembled. So when you want to change it, like I said, you just make a new booklet, put it under the elastic. It should be tied a little bit tighter than mine is right now. It's a little too loose. So I'll redo my knot. But right now it's fine. And the pages are all inside the book, not hanging out. So they won't get all crunched up as you put this into your purse or your backpack or whatever. And everything will be in one spot. A little too long on the string there. And that's it. That's your whole planet. So I showed you how to print it best I can, like I said. Most printers are all different. But if the location of where your paper goes in is similar to mine, which is on the front bottom, then your pages will print as I showed you mine did. If you've got back loading, top loading, paper holder, that I'm not sure how the paper goes in and how you'll have to turn it to get the second side printed. But mine is on the front bottom loading is where my paper goes in. So that's how I showed you how mine print. And I have to tell you, that little hint on that print as image little area that had to be checked off. Caused me a lot of problems because my program, the PDF printer, the reader, it had, I don't know what it was updated. I had the very old one where that's all it was the reader. And now they've updated it so you can pay as you go, in other words, to use all the other tools they have in it now. So when I reinstalled that new version, that box was not checked. And I spent, days trying to figure out why my papers would not print centered on the page. I thought it was my printer. I kept, resetting my printer, pulling out the plug, leaving it unplugged for hours, and then plugging it back in, thinking it would reset. But it was not the printer. It was that little box in the Adobe Acrobat reader underneath where you go to print, the print details. That little box caused all those problems. Okay, well, I hope you like this printer. I mean this planner, sorry. By the way, I do have a link below for the printer that I use, which is going on 3 years now. December 1st, I'll have had it 3 years. I've only refilled the colors once, and I've never refilled the black yet. And I do a lot of printing. It's an HP 7001 Smart Tank printer, where you get bottles of ink and you refill. I have a video on it showing you how easy it is to refill. Very simple. And it's just lasts forever. I mean, I do a lot of printing. I'm constantly printing something. So I'm very happy with that. And the colors come out great. Very clear. I use it for everything. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be notified the next time I put up another video, which will be soon. I do have another one, a monthly planner that I made, which also comes in handy. So I'll be doing a video on that, and also, oh, I forgot I wanted to show you. I'll be doing a video on making, I call them page markers. Now this one I made for this book. Just a little page marker, bookmark in other words, a little bit larger than a bookmark. You can write on the back. This one is black, so I would have to use a white gel pen. But it just holds my page wherever I'm at. And that this was done in the Silhouette Studio software, which is free. I use it to design things like this rectangle and this top part with two separate shapes. And I welded them together in the software. Then I added on the word. I added in my pattern, which is very simple. You don't have to upload all your patterns. You just drag and drop them in, and they fit right into the shape. So I'll be showing you that. I have this one which I laminated and has a front pocket. Comes in handy on a bookmark. And on the back I put little post-its. So I'll be showing you both of those in another video. Okay. And don't forget, you can get the free printables on my Ko-fi or Ko-fi site, however you say it. It's free. Will cost you nothing. It's a zip file with 3 different files in it. So go and get that and make yourself a little planner. Would make a nice gift for a coworker. Or if you're giving someone, a small gift, a gift card or something, and you want to give them something to go with it. So they'll have a little weekly planner to use. Okay. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you soon. Bye.